Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Shanghai. A beautiful scenic view here at almost 11 p.m. on a glorious Monday night. If you're in school, if you're going to bed for school, then good night and farewell to you. But welcome to everyone else in Game 2 of Top Esports and Rogue Warriors. Jimmy Preacher Fu, still here. My name's Jake Asterix Penko. I'm still here. And this is a series that I can start getting behind because I like how Rogue Warriors, started to play active in the early game, but Top Esports, especially Knight, our MVP, played the rest of it out. Knight just zip-zapped away.
Us, along with Knight, are going to be here until the match is done. So
what?
Do not count him out. 43% damage for the team. I mean, he was the hidden menace because that Victor wasn't doing too much early. We were waiting for him to build his items, but you remember slowly his death rate was catching out members left, right, and center, and eventually that added up.
Yeah, to be fair, I saw a couple of players. I was like, yep, Knight's just absolutely clobbering people. This is our MVP of this first game. I do want to quickly apologize. Out of the V5 VG Gaming series, it's been a long night. I didn't get the MVP for game number 2. It was Max. Focus back on this series. Rogue Warriors, Top Esports, let's bring us back because this was not only sick from Knight, but also from LokeN.
That was it. Combined between the Flash and also the Blade Collar to call down all of the feathers onto 2 of the squishy members on your opponents. That was a beautiful setup for Knight to actually lay down the damage. So the survivability from LokeN and also the forward play from Knight, what more could you ask?
Yeah, no, it was a pretty successful game from Top Esports from then on. LokeN, that flash was actually just sick. He then moves to where the Nico flashes for the Pop Blossom, then flashes back.
Forward.
Yeah. So it was insane to see at that moment, then presses E as he does it. All the feathers come in. That 2-man stun.
It was it. And it was setting up Knight. I mean, Knight was the MVP, so don't forget about that as well.
Yeah,
I also do remember the W onto the teleport. You remember it. Renekton came in and couldn't actually jump anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. But this game is going to be even more important because Rogue Warriors are making some changes for this upcoming game. In game number 2, they're bringing in for the first time this split, it's WeiYan. So this is a jungle sub that has not played.
I'm looking forward to this. We have currently no statistics from the LPL that is on this player. So, yeah, it is a fresh face that is going to bring in some fresh strats.
Because, in the past, let's remember in spring, it was Xiaoyao, it was Zhao Yun was top lane, excuse me. Xiaoyao, I'm trying to remember if my brain's not working anyway. But, the point is, in that jungle, we were asking questions. Now, I'm hoping that WeiYan kind of answers some of those and whether he's going to be... Is he going to be as good as Haro? What does he provide?
See, this is the thing that I have to talk about because Haro has been denied away from EDG, obviously because Clear Love is a very old name, and now also being challenged by WeiYan. The first game was not bad from Haro. He was aggressive, especially onto the early part of the top lane map, but as soon as that bit progressed and he was no longer trying to focus down solo lanes in laning phase and it was the grouping phase of the game, he just couldn't actually find any of his ultimates onto key members. So maybe a new face means a new angle onto all of these fights.
Curious to see how he provides a bit of that real estate to Holder in the top lane, because it wasn't free that game. It was far from free. Holder really had to work for it, and even then, he didn't get what he needed because 369 was all over it.
It was, yeah. I think that was also another thing that they need to fix up. The fact that they let Aatrox through the pick ban phase, I'm just going to say slap on the wrist, bad puppies, don't do that again.
No, definitely not. So that's the top lane for you. Keep an eye out as well because 369 is just hammering down on this matchup. I love the fact that for Top Esports, it's just like we saw them last split. XX still a very strong jungler. Solo lanes are great. And then bottom lane, even LokeN and Ben playing very well.
It was, yeah. Everybody was out playing with their own unique mechanics, and that is what we need right now. It's usually focused on the 2 solo laners, but the fact that your ADC and support can hold their own as well without any jungle attention, that is really the cherry on top.
Very, very true. Brazier, we're momentarily about to get into that second game. In this game, remember, for Top Esports, they're still undefeated in series. And Rogue Warriors, I thought we were going to be the team to challenge them. In game 1, slightly. The second game, we expect to see, that Aatrox banned away, I'd say, because even though it wasn't the biggest catalyst, it was still a very big element that other teams are banned for this exact reason. It is a nuisance to deal with, and it will scale and scale and scale.
And that did not look great because they were not playing towards their strength. ZWuJi hard farming, don't like to see it. If you really want to do that, pick up something like a J4 and actually get your damage down onto the map. So maybe those things could all change out with a change in scenic view of the jungle. WeiYan coming in now for the team.
So I've heard, Preacher, WeiYan is a name from, once again, the Three Kingdoms.
Three Kingdoms, yeah.
So if you don't know, in spring, Rogue Warriors renamed. And we had Zhang Chao, we had Xiaoyun, we had, who else? HuaTian, ZWuJi, and Huanggai.
Yeah.
So we got a real cool theme going on
There
with this
it
team.
is. Load it all up.
And then Kalua's like, I'm not changing my name.
Why would you? It's a kick-ass name.
My name is Kalua.
Yeah.
And that's what it will be. So Huanggai is still on the roster this game. Kalua has not played yet, and if this ends in 2-0, he will not. It's up to Huanggai to look at that bottom lane and say, yes, ZWuJi, I'm here for you. We can win this.
I like that. I like seeing that Huanggai is still in. He is a very good and solid mechanical player. So that is something that they need to shore up, especially into LokeN and Ben with that massive outplay from the very first game. It is something that is to be looking forward to, especially the mechanics before junglers actually get involved in that 2v2.
So at the moment, if you want to look at, you know, like how Rogue Warriors have built up their roster, WeiYan, as you can see on your screen right there, he's the only other sub-jungler at the moment. Last season, we had 3 junglers, if I'm not mistaken. At the very least, 2 junglers. And we're like, well, who's better? Xiaoyun. My name, I'm so bad with Chinese, I do apologize. But this right here is important. Haro out, WeiYan in.
This is the key, because usually jungle substitutions are the best ones. It means that the people who are sitting behind can get a good view of the entire map, even without Fog of War, and that just enables them to formulate strategies, including counter-pathing and counter-jungling.
Now, this roster's been going on. It's week 4, day number 1. I was going to say this roster's been going on, you know, for now 4 weeks here in the LPL. Who knows how much longer in the off-season. It's not like this just fresh face just going to be like, well, I just entered Summoner's Rift and we're just going to play a game of League of Legends. No. They would have been strategizing this for a while, so I'm curious to see how it ends up going, because in other times when Rogue Warriors brought a fresh face into the jungle, it was not good.
It didn't work out because their substitutions were usually panic substitutions when players weren't showing up, and it went from out of the frying pan into the fire. So hopefully this is something different, because with junglers, like I said before, there is always a reinforcement, and more importantly, it's also a different champion pull. Going to pull out the ZWuJi right now, maybe put in more of a damage dealer. I like seeing the Jarvans, because today it has always been about those cataclysms, and I also like the Olafs that we have seen banned consistently every single game today. So if that is left open for him as well, which is something that you can't necessarily scout out, might be good favors.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that Olaf is just so powerful, and XX loves it, so you can't leave that open.
Not for him.
I'd like to apologize because my memory blanked before, but I keep getting the junglers confused. Of course, it was Shuzu we saw in the last split alongside Zhao Yao, excuse me, who, fun fact, is actually currently suspended, so we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But at the moment, WeiYan is the only other jungler apart from Haro on this roster.
Yeah, so brought into this roster, fresh face. Now we just got to see what they draft for him in specific, because usually when you bring in a new person, it's both bans and it's also unique champion pulls. It's coming in.
We're coming into game number 2 here, Preacher. Smack down the Dorito, pick up the flakes. It's time to eat some snakes. I don't know. I've eaten snake over here.
You're a chip off the old block.
I tell you what, no, I'm not. You know, I've tried to rhyme more. It hasn't been working out. It's been a long night, and rightly so. I think this series, I still believe, could go all the way, but we'll find out, because now Top Esports on the blue side, red side, excuse me. And Rogue Warrior is going to start banning away those flexes. Triple flex ban.
Where is the Aatrox? If it's not last ban, I'm going to be mad.
I wonder if Holder's going to pick it up if it's not.
There it is. Yeah, of course it's going to be. Okay, so there are still a few that are left open. My mind is on Ryze. Ryze is extremely strong.
Wow.
Yeah.
But just go straight for the Renekton.
That's it. They just tunneled straight onto it. Good game in game number 1, and they don't want to give it up. Here's another thing. There is obviously the ZWuJi that is open, but let's see if XX goes for the ZWuJi, or if he actually wants to go back to the hard farmers.
I think he will, but if we see something like the Kennen, it means they want to take this matchup into the top lane, expecting that Holder will not flex it over to HuaTian. An early Kennen is a big surprise, but it makes sense with Top Esports changing things up.
It's a good counter into Renekton as well. Now all you need is a solid tank in the jungle. All of a sudden, Sedge makes a whole lot more sense. So lock it in, and then you can start looking towards your mid and also your bottom lane, so that you don't get banned out second rotation.
Other options like the Rek'Sai still there as well if they want to go for an aggressive move. XX going, what am I going to play? A very vocal member of Top Esports. If you haven't watched their comms before, XX is very loud.
And 2 for 2. Ben's going to pick up his Lux once again. This is extremely important for Top because in the very first game, some of those light bindings were missed, but most of them that hit were important for them. I'm thinking about the ones especially that were trying to catch out the support members in specific. Even though she doesn't build damage, it's enough to just clip somebody out of a fight.
We're seeing some awesome Lux players here in the LPL, and Ben definitely sits amongst the top tier. So as Rogue Warriors understand, they're going into the Lux, the Light of Annoyance. It will be the Sivir for the Spell Shield ability, and it will also be what looks to be a defensive support to start getting her out of the lane. Do we have a rinse and repeat? We definitely do.
This is interesting. I remember back in the day when Sivir and Karma were both extremely metas for the double speed up. So this is going to be the Rogue Warriors late game speed up composition, but that needs a facilitator. Obviously the Renekton is the early game bridge, but he's not going to be in all lanes. That's only going to be in the group phase. So still, we need to keep our eyes on the jungler of Rogue Warriors to see if they pick up a very early game jungler who can facilitate things, especially into a Jarvan as well. It's going to be difficult, and like you mentioned, the Rek'Sai is what comes first to mind.
Good to see the Elise band away first, though. An aggressive jungler working into the Jarvan. Now for Top Esports, they have their pick. They go, do we get rid of the Rek'Sai or do we get rid of the ZWuJi that's blaringly obvious?
Both of those two are available on the board. They take out the Sedge. Now this is very important because they don't want the mid-game cash potential onto their key carries. If either the ADC, Lux, or 369 are caught out in these instances, then that is really bad news for Top because they don't have the shielding available, they don't have the DPS available, or they don't even have the AoEs.
You've got the Sejuani off, and then you go, what's going to happen? Hang on a minute. Ooh. Now, I was going to be like, yeah, just the Rise taken away by Rogue Warriors, but Top Esports take a different direction. Instead of going for the mid, instead of leaving up something that could potentially go top, depending where the Kennen goes, they hit the Kalista, and yes, first time in the LPL this split.
This is an antithesis to what TES want to play.
I'm sorry, what?
It wasn't.
An antithesis?
Yeah, it's not really what TES want to play towards because they actually want to dominate the lane, but...
WeiYan, welcome to the LPL. Now, I'm not sure if that's HuaTian yet, but we're about to find out, Preacher.
WeiYan could definitely take it.
This is a great antithesis.
That's not. That's exactly what they need. They need this early game in order to be patched for their team because they are severely missing it. Now with the Karthus in the jungle, both hard farm and also the security of the ultimate, I like that from Rogue Warriors because it's now filling all of the early game holes.
Does mean, though, that HuaTian, by most likely, is going to be taking the Rumble into the mid lane. So a lot of AP damage now built up here for Rogue Warriors, but not too much that you scratch your head. You go, well, okay, Rogue Warriors trying something new.
It's a good divide because you still got the Sivir and you still got the Renekton. Now looking over on the other side, Top, what they need to do is they need to start trying to counter the mid lane. Now we know for most certain that it's going to be either the Rumble or the Renekton, so they need a good safe laner into both of those two early game.
Also, Corki has been a night special, so welcome to the LPL, ladies and gentlemen, where everything gets chaotic in the mid game, and if we go past the mid game, it's going to get even more so.
Yeah, let's go back to quickly what I wanted to talk about. The Kalista is not a great lane into the Sivir because at any point she can actually spell shield your Black Spears, and at that point, if she's actually out damaging you and uses a Q to burst you down as well, then you are surprisingly squishy early game. So LokeN needs to watch out in the laning phase. That is not how TES want to play.
We'll talk about that in a second, Preacher, because the Q, of course, can use spell shield, and then the Ren can get right past that. But at the moment, my look is towards HuaTian. He's playing Renekton mid. That's number 5, ladies and gentlemen. 5 players in the LPL from different teams have played Renekton mid.
It's a good counter to pretty much anything that you want to take into it. Now with Corki especially, maybe not so much. Corki can always valk out from the double dash, so that is always going to be a punishing lane against the Renekton. But other than that, it provides the beefiness and it also provides the roams early game.
I'm excited to see Holder back on the Rumble. I remember in 2018, please quote me, whether it was playoffs or in the regular season, my mind goes back when, you know, I'm back in Oceania doing the OCS, the old Challenger Series. I turn on the good old telly, and I put it onto LPL, and I go, hello, Holder Rumble. And this, to me, gets me arced up.
It's good because his ultimates are very, I would say they're very well positioned, not in terms of damage, but in terms of zoning. So look out for the objective play. He usually cuts off key entrances into Barons and Dragons as well.
Okay, so WeiYan as well. Let's not forget this guy is starting his LPL career on the Karthus jungle. Very rare to see here because we've just gone ZWuJi into the Jarvan, into the Rek'Sai. A change of pace as we finally get the car driving past. Quickly, Preacher, as we get into game, spell Antithesis for me.
Not doing it.
Okay, good, because I can't spell it either. We'll hold that one to speculation, get the crowd, or rather the chat. You guys can try and spell that one out as we get into game number 2, and it is Dog Corki coming on to Summoner's Rift in what seems to be a spectacular game ahead.
You have two reactions. You're either hysterics or you're me when you hear the LGD chants. Now, for everybody watching back at home and our international viewers, it's 11 p.m. It's past 11 here, so all of these teams and players, they are very tired.
My God. Like the passion that came out of that man, but also you could hear the strain in his voice.
He wants one thing only, and it's LGD.
It's LGD. Like I said last game, it's become a bit of a meme, but we've got a lot to break down in what seems to be a short span. First thing we need to break down is the fact that Knight has the best skin on Corki. Problem solved, we've broken that down. Let's look at the top lane matchup a little bit, Preacher, because Kennen into the Rumble is not what 369 thought he was pairing into.
No, he thought that he was actually going to have a very safe lane, but now into Holder, still very good because you have more range with both your Q and your auto attacks, but if any point Holder goes up, could be deadly. This is spotted out.
XX does not have his blue buff, and it's going to be spotted out by WeiYan, who picked up his own.
Oh, no.
It's a red buff start, while Huanggai and ZWuJi move up towards to try and contest this.
This is it. They could both go for it.
It's not going to be stolen away. They have vision on it. They're going to wait. XX picks it up, and Ward goes down. So that's going to be a double buff here, potential for a triple, and to start continuing to invade. See the reaction here from WeiYan as he's gone towards Raptors. He should know there's no red buff there.
Yeah, and it's really great play to go from red to red as opposed to stop off of your blue as well, because now it forces WeiYan to go onto the top side, can't even steal away a buff.
Oh, wow, but Krugs go to ZWuJi.
Oh.
Big denial from the jungler, and WeiYan's picking up Krugs. He has no congestion. He can move into this lane.
The majority of Krugs is actually for the experience as well, so this is going to be doing so much work for WeiYan once he gets it.
369 does not know he's here. A ward's going to be dropped, but pings go down. He's so far pushed out.
He is, and this is a volatile lane in the early game, especially if Karthus decides to gank it.
I mean, it's a level 3 Karthus. 369's in a bad position. Here comes the lightning surge. As now he's waiting to flash over the wall. Karthus has the range. So well played. Easy first blood, and I love to see the coordination.
He didn't even have to walk into it. You could see that 369, he just wanted to play the do-si-do and get around to either side to make it a 1v1. However, hugging the wall means that WeiYan could actually hit him.
He's in the position where the flash would have come over, and on top of that, WeiYan took the Dark Harvest into the jungle too, Preacher. So he gets some early stacks.
And now in mid.
He's in another lane. I like this jungler, Preacher. I really do. A flash there, wall of pain into the Skittles to drop down. Flash for flash, I would say worth.
That was aggro. I mean, you didn't have to both flash for that. Either one go with the stun or the other one with the wall of pain. But okay, I still like it. Even though it was way too aggro, it did mean that he picked up the kill in the top lane. WeiYan, he just doesn't give up, and I like his playstyle.
The downside here is the trade will be the triple buff going over to J4. So while he picked up some camps from the top side, it is going to be the Jarvan getting those 3 big buffs. Yeah. While we look at the bottom lane, Preacher, sorry to take your attention away. We're looking at the Halo Blades Kalista once again that we saw last split. Well, Holder, this is actually not good.
Got to go fast.
Let's talk a little bit about LokeN, because it's good to see Halo Blades return.
That's what I was going to say. You've got to go fast, and especially in the early game, it means that you get a whole lot of spears down without building any attack speed because of your keystone. So this is really well done by TES to know their strengths and advantages. Now, they still do want to win lane. That is their big MO. However, the way that they do it has to be drastically shifted. They don't have any reliance on the Jarvan because he is going to be hard farming against WeiYan. That's a natural expectation because WeiYan is so weak in a 1v1 and in his own jungle.
Well, he's moving up towards the invade once again. And remember that the Karthus will want to farm, but being very aggressive with the invades, while Jarvan has the versatility for easier ganks.
Oh no, the 2v2.
Even at this level 3 mark. Now, WeiYan going to be spotted out. The flag drag, aggressive flash. They flash on him. They're laughing at XX. At night, they get revenge.
That is why Karthus may not have a great time invading. Once they double flash as well to try and get the kill down onto Knight, that was pretty much secured. So I'm not too certain what WeiYan was doing going into the enemy jungle while he was flashless. That was way too far forward and he gets punished by it.
So top lane's accelerated for Rogue Warriors. Top lane now, mid lane now accelerated for top esports. You can see the cute dichotomy that's building up here in this game already. And for Rogue Warriors, their bottom lane is losing out on CS too. So this already, top esports have taken back their control in the early game and have a small gold lead.
That's the way that they're going to divide it so far. So right now, the biggest difference is actually the two junglers. An assist already down onto WeiYan as opposed to the farm down from XX. It's not that massive, but you got to keep in mind that it is jungle CS, and that is going to increase too. This, in particular, is uncontestable because WeiYan cannot go near it.
No, he's not going to even try at this point. Top esports full bottom side control with the shove in, and LokeN come on here and get that double smite down in the form of Rend anyway. So I think they do spot it in the end, but WeiYan going towards top side, he'll get a scuttle as a trade. That's all he can find. Yeah,
he can't even go and get some, pressure down onto the Rift Herald, because what are you going to do once you get the pressure? You can't even go and take it for yourself. So this is going to be rough for him in the early game. There are major objectives that can simply be taken for pretty much free from XX.
Ocean coming up next, by the way, but with topside control, there's still a benefit there for WeiYan, and the lane that he eventually got the shove on in Holder. He's able to get more pressure up there and maybe make a return. Almost hit the level 6. Remember, look out for the Requiem. It's going to be coming down pretty fast.
Dark Harvest, it always does more damage than you'd expect. 550 as well, so always keep that in the back of your mind. A prime target for that is actually LokeN, because the Kalista naturally has very low defense numbers, so she dies faster than ADCs normally do.
Remember, Requiem got nerfed in this last patch in an attempt to just take Karthus out of the game, which everyone always loves, but although his Requiem now does more damage, excuse me. Like, he got nerfed. His Requiem does more damage. And you're still going to see a big ultimate come through. But we can judge the damage ourselves, chat.
It's the security. It's the security that he's bought his bottom lane so that they can never get dove by this very volatile duo. However, what he has traded away, as we've seen, is the jungle. So he's
we
already
need to start talking about this because XX is moving to the mid lane. Dominus pop simply for Knight and XX showing themselves together. Mid lane's got a lead. Now no ultimate. HuaTian doesn't even have TP, but he has to leave.
Yeah, he just has to get out of there because he knows that XX is around there. So once again, HuaTian going to lose some very key plating.
And he's not the only lane losing out. Top lane, even after the kill, is down 10 CS with WeiYan. How did you get there?
Patience.
Wall of Pain is available. 369.
This is a massive wave, though.
Look, he knows something's up. He knows something's up.
Normally, you take this wave very fast with your Flame Spitter, but the fact that he didn't alerts him.
He knows something's up. Is he going to back? Oh, he backed. Has the Requiem available. Holder runs into the brushes. Like, is there a ward in there in the end? But he's fallen behind in CS just a little bit in the top side as well. And further to my point, the third and final lane in the bottom, LokeN is comfortably in the lead.
That Vampiric Scepter is all he needs to stay in this lane almost indefinitely, because the poke coming out from Huanggai isn't really landing onto its mark. And that's really what happens when you play the Kalista. You could choose to jump or not to and to dodge all of the skill shots.
So many things you have to spell shield for the Sivir as well. So you can understand how ZWuJi is having trouble here. So WeiYan coming in to relieve some of the pressure, but a great deep ward that's going to spot him out as he just skirts around.
Oh no, he
vision.
goes in.
He's now coming on in, going for that slow time gank as the flash is there. A wall of pain once again, but LokeN has already taken out one guy. A 1-for-1 trade as WuJi gets another. Now onto Ben as XX coming in as well.
And here it is. Everybody's coming to XX as well as Knight.
There's a dog with a big package coming in. It looks like a whole lot of poop. in a bag. Knight ready to jump on in. He lands down. WeiYan has to pick it up, but he doesn't have a plastic bag. HuaTian as well wants to slice and dice onto Knight, who doesn't have the Valkyrie available just yet. XX with a re-engage in the beam. HuaTian perfectly timed flash, while WeiYan and WeiYan try to cover the tracks.
So while all of that is said and done, you got to give props to Huanggai. As soon as we get the replay, he was really the person who facilitated and started that entire fight. Apart from that, it was really nice collapse down for both these teams to just nullify the situation bot.
And if you're trading off as your ZWuJi, you go, yeah, that's all right.
That's good.
369, we're about to see a 1v1 here. Overheat, though, comes in from Holder. Is that going to be the catalyst as the play from 369 seems to end there? But Holder picks himself up, bit of HP. Oh, I don't think he stole it. Was secured there by 369 in the end, while WeiYan says, my blue buff.
Finally, able to get down a little bit of an evade, and he's not done.
You devil.
Who
Wait
wants
for
this?
it. Knight's still here. Ben. Oh, he spots him. HuaTian's coming down as well. I think they might go through with it anyway. Well, the overheat's not there anymore for Holder. He's getting poked out in this lane, but starting to win out. We see that earlier gank and the first blood. Now transitioning the lead for Holder.
The QW, finally, the combo is strong enough to take it to 369's face, and always pressured by the ultimate, not only of Holder, but also WeiYan. He needs to back out.
Ooh, TP coming in, TP coming in. 369 is coming in. The surge of lightning, ready to Maelstrom down as the flash with the flag and drag. 369 doesn't have his ulti available. He comes in with the Protobelt looking for the stun. Auto, flash, auto, flash. There it is, worth it in the end.
And he even uses the last auto attack. You can see him hesitating going back, but good on him to step forward, picking up that kill. It was also very good of XX to flash to get the knockup.
And now you know he doesn't have a flash though. You know 369 doesn't have that flash. Holder burnt his in the trade, but still has the equalizer available. And WeiYan has not used the Requiem just yet. So look at the TP, or look at the rotation rather, as bot side goes top, and now the Rumble will have to go and deal with this Kalista Lux.
I'll say that it's important that you get the flash timing of XX, but it's not really counterable by WeiYan, because of course it's a Karthus. What are you going to do, force him to flash out of any sort of fight or skirmish? It's not going to happen, but the fact that he has to back to base is a good trade.
But also, Holder can't use TP to this turret because he will die. LokeN and Ben have full control down here. He has to walk down, wait for the next wave while losing so much. And the equalizer coming down just to get the wave in the end. May be worth it because Rift Herald at the cost of yet another dragon.
They could rush it on the top side. They need to do it right now, but they got the ADC advantage. That is a lot of plating though.
Maybe we have time to slow down, Preacher. I'm not sure. Nope. We do not. 369 has lightning, what's it called? Slicing Maelstrom, there we go. So he has his ultimate backup available is what I'm trying to get at, but won't need to use it in this case because Rogue Warriors lose out on the turret trade. First turret blood does go over to top esports. Well, Rogue Warriors pick up the scraps. Still, 2k gold behind.
Yeah, it's just trading objectives all over the map. A little bit slower on the rotation by Rogue Warriors once again does mean that TOP is going to pick up the additional gold.
Ooh, but they get a second charge of the Rift Herald. I like that. Small wins where you can get them.
Yeah, small wins, but Rogue Warriors now need to push up that lane, so it is going to be the longer one. Naturally, you're going to have to send your Holder towards that unless you want your bottom lane exposed. ZWuJi is still not scaled yet, so that is one of the biggest stories that we need to talk about. 1 kill to his name, he still needs some room.
No, he needs 1,000 gold to catch up to the side of LokeN, because LokeN and Ben have just been dominating this lane. 30 CS in the lead. Mid lane has a gold lead as well. 1,000 gold because he's almost 30 CS in the lead. Knight's just having a great time. While the top side of the map, that's the most even one if you're not counting the jungle. Only 500 gold towards 369, who might be dropping soon.
Here it is, 369, you got to get out.
Wall of pain. Oh, he feels it straight away. 369 with the Protobelt. Holder coming on in. Has the equalizer in 10 seconds, but the Lightning Maelstrom comes first as WeiYan gets stunned up, half health. Ben trying to burn him down. Remember, he has the ultimate still available. 369 dies, or rather gets the kill, and Holder dies. Rough start.
Ben. That was all the shield that came out of him in order to defend, and with that extra HP, 369 outplays the 2v1.
Now you got a 2-1-0 Kennen on that note as well.
That's good.
Has almost got Carl finished up.
Just like we expected. He dominated heavily in the first game, and now 369.
Oh no, more poop!
XX!
HuaTian needs to pop the dominus now, and does so. Now for XX, misses the flag and drag. HuaTian, fancy feet work as he spins to win, but that's no winner in my eyes. Top esports now see the Holder's coming in, who has equalizer available onto XX. He's getting low. Here comes the electric harpoon. Next one is on to Knight. The flame spitter out as well. It's a Requiem, but no! Golden while Knight takes him on. He wants Huanggai as well. The tether doesn't land. the big doggy poop does, though. And Huanggai gets half health, while Knight will not die.
Forces a stopwatch, but still no death. XX walks out of that alive, and it is all WeiYan. He finally uses his ulti. Bit lackluster, but obviously it's because of the itemization that has been built.
I mean, XX went into stopwatch, so unlucky there from the ultimate of WeiYan, the first one we've seen in this game. But now no stopwatch there of the Jarvan. Means no kill, no extra pressure on Knight. And top esports can make plays like this where they walk to the top side, have a great old time, and just keep on pushing down turrets.
And this is actually looking really good for Rogue Warriors right now. Despite the fact that they are down in kills, they have got the push pressure with the Sivir and also the Karma. Now they need to be a little bit more secure, but it's always going to be to their advantage if nobody's defending.
Let's have a look at how Knight went for walkies.
Alright, it's right here. HuaTian being locked down. He's trying to focus on Knight, but can't get through the wall and just gets taken down. This is the last little bit with the equalizer as well, because Holder tries to kill XX. Good step to the side to stop the DOT coming through, and it is the stopwatch to deny the Requiem at the end.
Oh, this hurts as a Karthus. You're like, I'm going to get the kill. But little do you know, he has stopwatch, or rather you would. So the Warriors Jarvan lives on. And HuaTian ends up dying as his first death of the game. Still doesn't have his first item because he went to the Tiamat optimization. And Knight has his Trinity Force NBF. Now, HuaTian does not want to be here because Knight can 1v1 him with ease.
He is shredding all of these waves as well as the enemies. I'm not sure that anybody can really defend this, especially when XX is here and is providing some cover for the damage.
That is a big one. Big steam and big one.
Take a look at the difference. You said that there was a condolence of the Riptail getting the second charge, but now...
Oh, wow. Big beam coming through. Huanggai!
Wow!
Oh, no! And WeiYan as well. The Karthus feels the beat. The beat of love from XX. A double kill for the Jarvan. HuaTian even comes in and says, hey, guys, I can do this. But now... as he clears the wave, he's in big doo-doo as well.
What's he doing,
Great flash
XX?
from HuaTian, but will he live? Yes, he will. That was perfect as ZWuJi tries to recover the situation. I will talk up, however, that Renekton flash was sick, but maybe too little too late.
And also moving down, just a little bit of fancy footwork. Look, his individual mechanics are good, but it is not enough to save the rest of the members of his team. When you have immobile members who can get locked down by Jarvan's flag drag to the point where he doesn't even need to burn the flash in order to guarantee the knock-up, that is when you know that you're in some trouble.
Now can hold a 1v1 this. He has the equalizer available, but he's 2 levels behind. He's going to get spotted out by 369, who has his ultimate himself. Slicing Maelstrom might just 1v1 him.
Don't forget, it's also a 2-1 Kennen, so he is very far in the lead compared to a 1-3. Holder's not going to have a good time.
Klepto. Let's see how Huanggai and WeiYan got blown up.
Catching down Ben. No, Ben actually catches you back, and it is just the burst coming out from XX. Honestly, his ultimate combined with Ben alone is enough for the damage.
I love how LokeN got thrown into the Cataclysm. Sorry, Ben got thrown into the Cataclysm. Was like, well, I can't get out, but close enough.
Yeah, what can I do over here? And yeah, he just manages to get that.
So clean stuff here, even cleaner than game 1 from top esports. They have full control of this game again. And the Karthus, you want him to get to that level 16 Requiem. You want him to get to as many stacks as he can get in this early game. But yeah, it is a pipe dream at this point. 7k gold lead. Top esports had this game by the tail, apparently.
Definitely holding it, and with the gold lead and also the scaling in their favor, double Mountain Drake means that they can go on the aggressive. Hardest part about it is that they are obviously versing a Sivir, so she has infinite wave clear with the Essence Reaver as well. Going to be very difficult, but we've seen from time and time again that XX can be the instigator of all of these plays because they are so flash dependent on Rogue Warriors. If they don't have flash, they don't have any way of getting out of the Jarvan CC.
Guardian Angel as well, so XX even harder to kill at this point. I'm waiting for that second item from Knight where he's got a BF Sword, he's got a Zeal, so he's been able to optimize into 2 components of 2 different items as WeiYan walks up. That wall of pain is hurting him more than them.
It is. It's barely doing anything. I mean, the movement speed cripple doesn't really matter when you're trying to hit the turret. It's still going to go down to TOP nonetheless. And this is really the advantage of trying to push. Keeping an eye on the timers right now. 3 minutes until the next Infernal Drake. Very big number. But even more importantly, 1 minute onto the Baron. That's naturally where you should be turning all of your vision onto.
I would love to see the win rate of Rumble in the LPL. I don't think we've had a Rumble win, if maybe one.
It does feel very low, and it's mainly due to the fact that it is difficult to execute because you always need to be in the right place and exclamation at the right time. And that is the most difficult thing, because if you do go there too early, then you're actually giving up on precious experience, which in turn hurts your ultimate.
This holder, or this rumble rather, holder on the rumble.
Yeah. This holder.
Morellonomicon is the only item in hand, while Spellbind has been picked up by 369. So not only is he going to get in the fight with the Proto Belt, that Spellbind, a second item, is a confident build here for the Kennen top. And I'm still waiting. The Corki unable to go back to base and pick up that IE just yet, but the pickaxe in hand, so you know what's coming next.
You know that he's going aggressive when he doesn't even need to get the Zhonya's second item. This is a very fed Kennen who wants to extend his lead. It's not the teamfight Kennen, it is the solo split push Kennen. And this is going to work out really well into a composition that does actually want to take these individual lanes.
WeiYan's still doing a bit of damage though, so I'm excited for the prospect of what Rogue Warriors can do on what seems to be their last legs. 8k gold lead. Baron is spawned.
Here it is.
Top Esports say, hey,
there's a ward.
You remember Dan Gaming? Yeah, that was us at one point. Let's begin.
But more importantly than that, that is the important bait, because you start it and then you move away. This is a death bush camp now.
Whoever has done the voting, believe in Top Esports. That's
Wait
all
a second.
red.
Wait a second. 50% is 0%? What's going on with the first one?
I don't know, but there's a big percentage towards Top Esports. Who has the better Rumble ulti? Corki's package or Rumble? This game, I'd say it's Corki's package.
It is doing a lot of damage, and it actually knocks people apart as well, which is the important thing.
So Holder's got his still. Package was just expended by Knight in the mid lane, who's 2 levels ahead. Or rather, 1 of his own mid laner, but Holder's level 11. He's so underfarmed at this point. And XX can jump in, because remember, he has the GA. He's going to be tethered down. That's the equalizer we wanted to see there from Rogue Warriors, as Holder is going to be jumped on, flashes in over the wall. The re-engage from HuaTian. He's in the middle of 3 as the Requiem's coming down.
Oh.
This for Rogue Warriors, though. Ben survives.
Dang!
How, though? Holder's now looking for the flank. He gets Ben! Snipes him down. 369 in a bad position, but still has the slicing Maelstrom. So Knight, right now, it's on him to disengage.
This is it, and now they're trying to go forward.
Or rather, re-engage. Knight wants to go in. XX is here. But he's not going to find the Rumble. Holder gets out. A 1-for-1 trade, better than expected.
It was primarily the shield and also the heal from Athene's that came out from Ben. So all of this coming in, denying away WeiYan, the execution. That's really how you play against it. Now, 369.
All the pain is there. Slicing Maelstrom, he goes on in. The spell shield comes out from ZWuJi. They might have found him. He flushes over the wall, but Baron's taken as TP in from Holder. Does he have the ultimate available? He doesn't, so he's just sending out flames. Top Esports running away. They want to get the Baron and get out, but Knight flashes. He could almost take down Holder.
Woo, that was so much damage on one auto attack, and Knight disengages everything. A wasted TP coming out from Holder means Top move out with that Baron for free. Although, Knight, you got to be careful. I know you want to clear it.
I don't think he does. I think he's fine. Against 5 people, boom, it's out. No minion wave there. They're going to have to tank it out, but oh, man, these flanks are insane. Actually, they don't even get the turret. See?
No. Okay, so it actually did manage to hold it out, and Knight was still waiting for his power spike, which is why he didn't go back early. Infinity Edge, obviously, the next item. Now they need to get their presence onto this Infernal Drake. If Top can secure this, then there is very little that Rogue Warriors can do to actually pull it back.
Knight at this point just teleports to the bottom lane. Well, Top Esports are 10k gold ahead, by the way. That's what a Baron buff will do when they're so far ahead. They have control of lanes. They can push up mid casually. They can get bottom lane turret as well. Top cannot be stopped.
I'm finding it harder and harder to envision a way that Rogue Warriors can come back into this game. Usually it's through snowballing of the Karthus, but all of his ultimates so far have not been on their mark. It is not even his fault. It's due to the stop and the block coming out from Top, combined between the support and also the stopwatches.
I don't know if you're trying to do that, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Top Esports sent 2 members down to the bottom lane. Knight is just hammering away. The big ones really hurt. And that minion's going to provide them a lot of anguish as Knight starts poking away and Top get the mid lane turret anyway.
Yeah, this is really difficult for them to defend on.
Party. I know it doesn't do much damage, but Ben getting a pick. Wow! But that does equalize it down onto LokeN as they jump on in. HuaTian with the flash there, with the slicing Maelstrom. It's over before it began. Top Esports can't be stopped, Preacher, as they sit Rogue Warriors down.
They focus on one member, but they didn't focus on the rest of their team, and Top just completely demolished them. Sure, you took down the ADC, but this could be it.
Game 1 was back and forth, and we believed in Rogue Warriors, but Game 2, if there's any questions of how our Rift Rivals representative Top Esports are looking, they're looking so damn good as they close out the series. And what a 2-0 we've been waiting for.
That was such a good 2-0 coming out from Top. I mean, combined between the pickouts and also the denials onto the Karthus just could not hit his mark at any point inside of that game. So TOP denying it away.
It was a clean victory, not a clean sweep, because Game 1 gave me a lot to hope for, but Rogue Warriors couldn't even get off the ground in that series. Or rather, that game, excuse me.
Yeah, definitely not. Bringing in their substituted jungler, it looked good at the start. Honestly, especially from the early game, you would have to say, look, you're into a person who can hard deny you and 1v1 you in your own jungle, so clearly just give away as many of your buffs as you need to and gank the lanes. But after that point, I just don't think that the Karthus hit the mark.
I will take back my point. You know, the beginning of that game was hopeful from Rogue Warriors, but it was about 5 to 10 minutes of it. Before Top Esports just took the rest of it away. And that man on your screen there, Knight, having some consistent performances across the board. There was a big conversation about whether he was the best mid laner in China and whether he could prove that on the international stage. Well, at the moment, Rookie, unfortunately, some issues in the family. He's had to go back to Korea. At the moment, I think the answer is yes.
Well, look, Knight definitely wants to be a part of every single one of those conversations, and tonight he has proven himself. I mean, MVP of game number 1, game number 2 we're yet to see, but his Corki performance, not only denying away the enemy by hard dividing them with his package, but also just the raw DPS to even save that turret at the end, that little bit of BM. It was really nice to see.
Another solo laner on your screen. I mean, at this point, you're just going to go through Top Esports, but like, 369 has to be commended. That Kennen matchup, he made it look easy. And the two of them together make like the ultimate esports Backstreet Boys. Like, you know, you love to see them. You love to hear them. They're a hit.
This was it. 369 and also Knight. The fact that both of these two players can hold their own in a meta that is so dependent on the solo laners and their individual mechanics, this is what you like to see in a team, and this is exactly why Top silence our questions that we had at the start of the day.
Well, I mean, even before this, right, we always knew Top Esports were going to be a top-tier team. We want to know how far they can push that, whether they can go into the top 3, with teams like IG being back and forth, and where they actually sit this split. Still a Rift Rivals contender. They're still going to Rift Rivals, ladies and gentlemen.
That is it. Yeah, that is the highlight that I want to say. With Rift Rivals closing in very soon, Top proving that they could just do a shutout performance onto Rogue Warriors is really nice to see. And it means that this isn't just a simple run and strength of schedule from them. This is actually the strength.
And look at Knight at the end. I mean, that tells you a story, doesn't it? 369 pairs with him, and WeiYan got exactly what he bargained for, picking up the Karthus. Struggled after he wasn't able to get anything else in that 10-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing face-to-face damage against Holder and also HuaTian. At what point do you see a Corki just going melee virtually against a Renekton and winning out for the better of it? Knight knows his power spikes so well, and he uses them as soon as he gets them. Trinity Force, let's go with the fight. Infinity Edge as well, another fight incoming, and it's all forced, but it's very good looking.
And at the end of that game, like 369 proved why I think he deserves to be MVP, because that was just a great finish to the game. Ultimate after HuaTian's like, I'm flashing in, I've got Knight.
Gonna do it.
Or rather, I got WeiYan, I think it was.
It was LokeN.
LokeN, excuse me. And then
it was everything.
369's like, no.
It was everything burned just for LokeN. And I understand that it's ADC, you want to take him out. But if you look at the damage charts for this team, consistently it's always Knight topping it, not actually LokeN. LokeN is good with his sidestepping, but in the times that he can't actually sidestep, he's buying so much time for his team, and you just saw 369 was running rampant.
Because with LokeN, it was really about him in game 1, game number 2, about the solo laners once again, even though facilitated by Knight in that first game. So Top Esports, I mean, yeah, no more questions as to how they're performing, because we didn't really have that in the first place. Vici Gaming getting taken to a game 3 was my only concern. But now, like, this is just a performance we expected coming into summer.
And it was beautiful to see as well. I'm looking forward to see him representing the LPL at Rift Rivals, because they have never looked better. And honestly, especially with this game against Rogue Warriors that we thought was so close, they were being tested, right? They were being tested against Haro and Holder as well, and they managed to hold individually. I mean, I'm talking about the straight 1v1s. It was good to see.
It was really good to see. Let's talk about their future, though, because this game just seemed to be like them walking over Rogue Warriors. And we'll break down Rogue Warriors in a bit, but this game, like, it tells me that 369 still in the top lane. Like, don't expect to see Moyu anytime soon. Like, XX still playing well. Knight, as I was saying before, should be in the discussion all the time for best mid laner in China who hasn't gone international. Alongside people like, I know people will be complaining about Doinby and like how he factors in. Well, FPX and Top, we need to see that match up again because Top Esports, you know, they lost out to them in the 3rd place match.
Yeah, and look, I just want to go back to a point that you just quickly touched on. TOP, their future games, this is really spicy because their very next one is against IG. IG is in a huge slump right now. If they can pick up these points, that's looking like a pretty beefy TOP in the standings.
Big grudge match. We got IG coming up next. We got BLG, WE. Now, W, we're on the other side of the bracket for playoffs. Remember, our top 8 go to playoffs. And we're going to regionals, all that kind of stuff. But BLG missed out on playoffs, so they're still a team that are edging around that, you know, 9th, maybe 10th spot, depending on how they go. Still a must-win for TOP.
Yeah, and this is just looking the finest form that they've ever had, combined between the fact that IG are in a slump and also the fact that TOP, that was a shutout performance.
I mean, I don't think... I'm going to hit you on that because IG are not in a slump.
What, they just beat EDG? You're going to tell me that right now?
Yes, because they did beat EDG.
They did, but it was... Look,
it's been a long... I'm looking at the clock up there. It's been long, so I'm going to give you this... no, I'll let you get away with this, but we're going to talk more about IG being in a slump off the broadcast because they are not in a damn slump, man. They just beat EDG. I don't care. This, for me, though, was a good testament to how Top Esports going into the next couple of weeks, next couple of matches, I'm looking down here, how confident they should be because, like, the whole team is coming together, and you're right. I feel like they could look better than they did in spring.
And nothing looks better than all 5 people, even though you have substitutes where you say, maybe we don't even need substitutes. These are our core 5 players that we will start every single game. We might just play through every single game. 369 performing out of his mind, and XX as well. This looks like a really solid team. I'm looking forward to seeing how they refine this, especially because while their laning phase is really good, their mid game was a little bit lacking. Now, by the late game, you saw that the Baron setups and also the Dragon takes consistently were really good, but everything else, especially the 4-1 and the grouping, that could do with a little bit of extra tune-up. That's my only criticism on the team.
Screw the criticism for Top Esports.
I mean, they won. I can't give them any.
It doesn't matter at this point. Rogue Warriors, however, on the other side, their next schedule, OMG, EDG, and LNG, like, they still have a rough schedule ahead of them. OMG, Raz doesn't think is good. I mean, he can fight me on that because I think OMG are an up-and-up team. But EDG and LNG for sure. Like, top-tier teams at the moment. So it doesn't get any easier here for Rogue Warriors.
No, it doesn't. And that's really going to be hitting them hard, especially after today. We said they could have potentially won this game, and given them the padding in the standings, now is going to be a constant fight uphill for themselves. But I think they still have a good roster for themselves. I'm going to hold on the fact that Holder and Haro are really good individual players. All they need is the time and the growing pains to go away for them to actually succeed.
And also on the note, relate Rogue Warriors to BLG, I would say. A team that sits outside of playoffs, that one series win by the end of the split is what would have pushed them through. So at the moment, that's what Rogue Warriors are looking like to me. I hope it doesn't come down to that because I think Rogue Warriors definitely deserve to be there. But they're one of the teams that could just be outside the skirts. However, getting towards the end of the series and getting towards the end of the day, we have to get our MVP, which is XX in that second game. I would have given it to 369, but you do you, as that man is into punk.
Yeah, I mean, it was the comparison, right? You can't talk about XX without talking about who he beat. Like, Karthus, I'm going to say the Karthus was a hit and miss. I mean, you could see it coming into action, but just XX denying away every single time, the counter jungling early game to steal all of the buffs away, the early ganking to make sure that he was on toe with the actual kills, and then to pick up a little bit by himself as well. I mean, that late game team fight that you saw, the hard tunneling, he just went straight for the backline. Really nice.
What I will say is that, like, for XX at that point, when he got invaded by the Karthus, they were laughing. So was 9. He's like, we both burned our flashes. Like, what's going on? Why is the Karthus invading
Why is the Karthus without flash in my jungle?
And then XX 2 minutes later goes, all right, he's doing it again. It was watered out. It was spotted. He died, burned his own flash, and, like, from there, mid lane fell apart. So it was good from XX, always very reactionary, and it's good to see that Top Esports, once again, play themselves. It's been a long night. Let me get this right. They play differently to different opponents, right? They adapt, right?
Yeah.
And that's big, that Top Esports can make those adaptations when we call them IG Light.
That is the important factor, because usually some teams, they take 2 or 3 times in order to really get punished before they change their playstyles, like we saw in the first series today. But immediately, one invade, and that's all it took for them to get hard control wards down, to get vision down, and to say, that Karthus doesn't have a flash, so we can easily re-engage onto him. It's so smart to see a team just shore up all of their mistakes after one time round.
XX took firm control of that second game. A 2-0 win here for Top Esports as we take another look at standings, because at the moment, things all over the shop.
Shake it up.
Top Esports up there, of course. That's going to be a flawless start so far to the summer split.
Well deserved for themselves, and earlier today as well, Victory 5 bumping themselves into top 8 contention. That is spicy.
Yeah, that's 2-2 here for Victory 5. How long does it last? How far do they go?
Of course.
At the moment, like, your biggest surprise is JDG. Rogue Warriors down there at 0-3. WE and Dominus. Biggest surprise so far, but to be shown up tomorrow, teams like Dominus Esports get their chance to start knocking down doors. We take a look at the matchups, and going up against Suning, that's what I want to see, because this will show us if Dominus are more than just, you know, one-dimensional.
Yeah, before we came into this split, Dominus was in playoff contention, so let's see if they can bounce back, especially against Suning, who have found their own feet as well.
Yeah, they really have. And the other matchup coming up. Can I see that graphic again, please?
It was FPX and LGD.
Thank you so much. LGD in the middle of the pack as well. That was very quick. I mean, my eyes can't read that fast, but that's
I got your back.
Absolutely fine. So that's coming up tomorrow for you. However, for the LPL tonight, it's been a long one. What time is it? It's 20 to midnight.
Bedtime.
We have been live for almost 7 hours, so thank you so much for your patience tonight. We apologize once again for the server issues that afforded the rematch and the chrono breaks in the earlier games. But you stuck with us. We appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow night. Big thank you to our production. Big thank you to Preacher here. And to Raz, who joined us a little bit earlier on as a special guest treatment. It's bye for now, but not forever.